Welcome to Savage Dental Marketing. When we started working with the dental practices, we noticed that there wasn't one good place that they could go to get all the different marketing elements that they needed to effectively market their practice. So that's what Savage Dental Marketing is all about. We've pulled together all the different elements in one complete system, a one-stop shop, if you will, with the design that it's going to, number one, make your life easier, and number two, make your marketing stronger. So let's take a look. First thing we want to do is take a look, a little bit of the background about what marketing is and how to effectively communicate with patients to drive them in the door. We talk about marketing is not a one-trick pony. We've talked to a lot of practices, and they've done an ad in the paper here. They've sent out some postcards there. Maybe they get coffee mugs that they've given out to some of their patients, and it doesn't end up being an effective way for them to consistently drive traffic in the door. And that's not a surprise. It's a difficult way to do it and not very effective. A lot of the elements and consistency that are needed in an effective marketing plan aren't there. So the first thing we need to do when we start to think about what an effective marketing plan is we have to think about who our patients are, who we're trying to communicate with. And so you see this family sitting here. They're all, well-to-do family. We anticipate them walking to the mailbox, opening it up, taking out the postcard that you happen to send them. They all sit around the kitchen table and decide, yep, this seems like a great practice. We're going to give them a call and make appointments for all the kids. But we all know that that's not the reality. The reality is, busy mother, she's on the phone, just home from work, crying baby, making dinner, sorting through the mail at the same time. That's who we're trying to reach. That's the reality of the world today. So the key is for our communication strategy is, number one, we have to cut through the clutter of all the different types of communication that she's getting so that she actually understands the message we're sending her, and doing that consistently so we remind her exactly what we're providing and how we can change her life. When we think about how we're communicating with her, we need to think about the different times in kind of a customer life cycle that will be touching her, because there are a lot of different elements and different ways and strategies to reach her at different times. First, and this is before she's your patient, there are times we want to be reaching her when she's not looking for a dentist. This is on this Tuesday evening as she's making dinner. She might be, getting a postcard from you in the mail. It may be a door hanger that was left in the door as she rushed in the door from work, and she picks it up and she looks at it. She's not necessarily looking for you, but hopefully you're going to be sending a message to her that's going to affect her during those times and get her to take action. And the action is picking up the phone and coming in. Then there's another time when you want to be reaching her, and that's when she is looking for you. She maybe has a toothache. Her husband just lost a filling. One of her kids fell down and chipped a tooth. She's looking for a dentist. How is she going to go about finding a dentist in your city? It's Google, it's personal ads, it's online referrals. There's a number of different ways she'll go about that. So we need to be cognizant of that and making sure that we're covering all the bases. The third area is that you're going to be needing to communicate with her is after she's your patient. And as you can see, there's a number of different ways we can do that, and we want to be doing that, because the important thing to remember is not only you're trying to do two things with your marketing strategy. Number one is drive in new high-quality patients, and that's what the top two areas talk about. The second thing that you want to do in terms of marketing your practice is increasing the average revenue per patient per year, and that's what communication is all about after she's your patient. So we're going to discuss all of these different strategies and how we bring them all together in one effective system. The difficulty that you face as a dental practice is that you're trained as a dentist, not as a marketer, not as a copywriter, not as a designer, not as a website designer, and quite honestly, even marketing folks aren't trained in all of those areas. It's not your training, that's not your skill, and quite honestly, your time and your focus should be spent with your patients. You should be spent with hands in mouth, driving revenue for the business. The problem is, but you still need to do the marketing to drive those new patients in. And if you were to hire a dedicated agency that was going to come in and bring a team of people in to do all that for you, it's just not cost effective for a small business like a marketing practice. So it's almost a catch-22 for practices. They have the need for this, but they don't have the time, the focus, nor the money to make it effectively happen. So it makes it very difficult for them to grow the business and market effectively. And that's where Savage Dental Marketing comes in. We've kind of put all those pieces together for you. So the first thing that you need is you need a plan and a calendar and start thinking about how you're communicating out to your community on a consistent way. And to do that in a consistent way with the crazy world that we know a dental practice is, busy, patients, problems, you need a system. You need a system that's going to make it easy for you to execute. Month after month after month, we need to be pushing messages out, reaching new patients in your community. One of the things to understand is that a patient in days gone by, when we talked about advertising and marketing, it used to be that you had to reach a customer 7 to 10 times before you got your message across to them. Today, with the internet, cable television, social media, you can probably double that, more like 15 to 20 times before they're really going to get impacted by the messages that you sent out. That's why consistency is so important. So what we need to start to do is look at that system for consistent communication. And what I want you to do is to start thinking about campaigns and seasons of the year. And when I talk about campaigns, we're talking about this is messaging that's going to impact a patient that doesn't know you yet. It's not sending out messages saying who you are, what your location is, what your services are. You're going to need to be sending out a message that's going to have an effect on that busy mother. Maybe it's protecting your kid's teeth with sport mouth guards before the soccer season starts in the spring. I say in the spring because you're going to have to send that message out for a few months in a row. Maybe it's 3 to 6 months. You're going to drive that message out so that everybody in your target audience is really going to know that you give a great deal on sports mouth guards and they need to protect their kids' teeth. You need to hit them emotionally, as we talked about. When she's on the phone, she's making dinner, she quickly glances at that card and says, brighten your smile so you have the smile you want for the holidays. Okay, that's going to hit her. That's something that she wants. Knowing that you have 4 people on your staff and talking about your background doesn't. So that's why when we talk about campaigns, they're campaigns that are targeted and focused on the end user, on your future patient. In order to do that, what you need to do is, again, have an easy way that you're able to execute those campaigns that are going to really resonate with that patient, that busy mom. So how are you going to do that at a busy dental practice? Well, this is the first in kind of a central part of the Savage marketing machine. We call it Machine Central. And what it is an interactive online marketing portal. You can easily customize all the materials that are in there. There's hundreds of pieces of marketing materials that are in the system that are designed just to do what we talked about, reach patients on that emotional level, and you can easily customize them. So let's take a quick look at it right now. I'm going to click right down here on Machine Central, and it's going to bring us over online live. Here we are, we're at the secure login, so I'm just going to type in my password, user ID and password, and you will have one of these as well. And we're going to log in to Machine Central. So again, this is an online marketing portal that you're going to have access to with hundreds of pieces of marketing materials that are designed and set up in the campaign format like we talked about, so that you can quickly and easily execute campaigns, getting communication out to, say it's the south side of town for your target market, if that's where you are going to be targeting. So here you see we have a number of different campaigns that are laid out: brighten your smile, seal out cavities, no fear specialist, goodbye to dentures. Let's choose this one, we love kids. So this is the campaign. It's coming up, it's the springtime coming into summer, so we want to really drive a lot of families into the office while the kids are off from school. Get the families in there and show them how great you are with kids. So with the We Love Kids campaign, the first thing we need to do is decide how we want to execute that. Maybe you have a great newspaper in town, so you want to do a print ad. And also maybe we want to send out some postcards or emails. Maybe it's coupon mailers, online ads, or door hangers. So there's a number of different options to execute any campaign. So in this case, let's start out with a postcard. So we'll click on the postcard. And under We Love Kids, you'll see that there are 4 different variations of the We Love Kids campaign that comes up. You can choose the one that you like the best personally, whichever one kind of fits with you, the look and the feel of your practice. We'll choose this first one. And give it just 1 second to load in here. So this is an interactive template that you're going to be able to use and convert and make your own. Okay, here we go. Here's the back of the card. We had seen the front already. Here's the proof over on the right-hand side. And we're going to go ahead and customize this. So the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to click on Main Content here, is what's the color combination that we want on the front, and which little smiling face do we want? So if your office happens to have blue in the logo, let's choose, maybe we'll choose this little guy right here for the We Love Kids. He has a great smile. So just as easily as that, we've chosen the color and the look and who we're going to have on the front of the card. Then we have all the description on the back, and we can modify that very quickly and easily. So right here it says we have a lot of fun stuff to do. Well, maybe we change that, and you want to say is maybe you do something really cool and we give kids toys. And then there's a list of what the toys are underneath. And so we can say a baseball or a doll, whatever it may be. Any kind of changes. Discount off, let's put 10% discount on, whatever it might be. And if we hit this green button right now, it's going to increase. It's going to give us a new proof of the of what we just changed, so we can see it right there. Usually takes about 5 to 7 seconds for it to redo the proof. And everything that we change should be right there, so we can finalize and make sure it's just perfect before we send it off to print. So here's the front, the color we wanted. We have the smiling little boy and the blue. And let's look at the back of the card, and I'm going to zoom in here and use a little hand and pull us up. We Love Kids, and we give out baseballs, dolls, and video games. We're going to do 10% off the initial visit, like we said. So it all looks perfect. Great. So all we have to do at this point is down here we're going to choose what our quantities are to send to print. At the moment they're not listed out here, but so if you're going to print 500 cards or 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000, then the prices will be right there. You can add the quantity and check that off, and then just hit Add to Cart. At that point it's going to send this card off to the printer, and you can either, then you have a couple different options. Once the card is printed, you have the option to just have it sent to your office, and you could do a mailing just like you normally probably would. But also our Machine Central is not only integrated with a printer, but we're also integrated with a list service so that you can purchase a list. So maybe you're going to target a certain demographic on the south side of town, maybe people with incomes over 100,000 that have kids. Everyone in all these zip codes are going to get that. So you can easily purchase the list right there online in Machine Central. And then you can also, if you want to, have the mailing sent out. We're also integrated with mailing service. So it can all be done very quickly and easily right from your office in a matter of about half an hour. And that's the key, that it's simple and easy to do so that you can execute.